Hey, what's up, and welcome back to ByStephieNics. So 1 year ago today, March 25th, 2020, I posted a video on YouTube called I Have Coronavirus, telling you guys about my experience having COVID. Unexpectedly, that video kind of blew up. It's at over 1 million views right now, which is just like, what? And today we're gonna do a little update. A little 1 year coronavirus update. How has it been a year that we've all been going through this? I'd like to know. Can someone explain that to me? Goodness. To put it lightly, a lot has changed in the world since the pandemic first hit us around a year ago. So I thought a cool way of kind of doing this update and talking about the changes would be to do like a reaction to my original video. I have not watched this video in close to a year. I don't fully remember what I said in this video, so I want to watch it back with you guys right now and kind of just talk through the different points, what we were thinking then, how things have changed so drastically. And if you're interested in watching along with me, let's do it and jump right in. Okay, scrolling back to find this video. I'm a little nervous to do this. I don't remember what I said in this video. Okay, here we go. I have coronavirus, what it's like, plus my weird symptom. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, and welcome back to ByStephieNics. Let's pause right there. First of all, we gotta chat about the look. I think that this is the only video that I've ever filmed with my natural curly hair, such minimal makeup, a sweatshirt. You could already tell I was not feeling it that day. Probably should have been resting, honestly, but if I was gonna film a video, I wasn't gonna get all glammed up for it, that's for sure. Let's continue on. But every day you're just hearing about more cases, more deaths, more schools closing, work closing, stores, everything is just seemingly shutting down, and yeah, that was a very scary time. We got hit out of nowhere. No one knew what this was, how it's gonna affect us, how long it's gonna stick around. I remember thinking it's like, okay, like another 2 weeks max. We've already hit the worst of this. It's on its way out. I'm calling it now. Didn't quite get that one right. 1 year later, still going through it. It's very, very scary watching the news right now about this global pandemic. What I was saying about the media right there, that hasn't changed. There's definitely like a different image of the virus being put out, which is so unfortunate. It is scary, it is serious, but just like the constant fear being put out there by the media, I feel like that has just had such a detrimental, damaging effect on all of our mental health. I know I got a lot of comments from you guys thanking me for kind of giving like the more real image just of what it's actually like to go through it, because definitely the image that you get from the media is it's a little altered. Okay, I was just Googling. This is back from September, so it's not totally current, but the CDC put out what like the survival rate of the virus is, and it's unbelievable. Hopefully these statistics can help you feel a little bit better. If you are age 0 to 19, you have a 99.997 chance of surviving, which is so close to 100%. It's unbelievable. The recovery rate for age 20 to 49 is 99.98, super high. From 50 to 69 years old, it's 99.5%, and above 70 years old is a 94.6. You can see from the numbers that if you're older, you're slightly more vulnerable, but still, 94.6 recovery rate, that's really high. And I'm not trying to minimize the seriousness of the virus. I just want to kind of put out this other view of the virus, which is real and true, but just not being talked about a lot. I know I got into a little bit of rant there, but just hearing me talk about like the media portrayal of it then, nothing has really changed, and it's very sad. Scaring people more than they have to be scared during a global pandemic. It's not cool. It's not cool, guys. Let's keep watching. So let's get into the little story of my symptoms. So I live at home with my family of 5, and all 5 of us have coronavirus. I think that's a good point to kind of give you an update on how me and my family have been doing. Thank God, we are all doing great, perfectly healthy, doing amazing. But what's really, really cool is that 1 year after all going through the virus at the same time, 2 of my family members are both fully vaccinated. Let's give a little applause there. How insane. No one thought that we would have a vaccine at this point, and it's been available for months. How many people have been vaccinated? Let's check. Oh my god. It says since December, more than 113 million doses have been administered in the US. That's an insane number. That is reaching over 20% of the US population, and the US is currently administering over 2.4 million shots per day. I don't think anyone expected that we'd be here just a year later. We have multiple super effective vaccines. We have a whole bunch of treatments that are really helpful. I think we all just have to kind of think about how far we've come and really just be grateful that we are really definitely on the way out of this thing. People are recovering, people are being protected against getting the virus. It's just good stuff to try to feel some peace and hope with that. Let's keep watching. So this is all happening. We got 3 out of 5 sick. And then my dad starts getting sick. He starts spiking a fever. He starts coughing. Listening back to this is like just bringing me back to the stress of that time. It was very, very scary. I got sick last and it was just like watching everyone around me get sicker and sicker. It was very scary. At this point, my dad tries to call to get testing. And I mean, he's on the phone for hours and hours and hours. The testing. Oh, the testing. We've got to talk about testing. Last March, we had 4 people hitting all the symptoms on that super short list that they had out about symptoms of the virus. We had to qualify for an appointment to be booked, and then we had to wait for them to call us back to book an appointment for us, and they never called. Fast forward a year, and now I constantly keep seeing these commercials, and it's like, come on, New York, get tested often, even if you're feeling fine. Like, they're just like throwing tests at people, and a year ago when we were all sick, we could not get a test. It's craziness how testing in particular has changed in a year. But then it was my turn. Woke up 2 days ago with a terrible headache, pressure in my face along my sinuses, and really like the most uncomfortable thing was my eyes were really hurting. There's so much pressure when I look side to side. The eyes, the pressure in the face. These are symptoms that like I was not hearing about at all then, and still you don't hear about it a lot, but I have so many comments from you guys saying, my eyes, that's exactly what I'm feeling. It's crazy, like the range of symptoms that this one virus can present with. The list of symptoms back then was so short. It didn't include like any of these things. Now I think the symptom list is like super long. It kind of covers anything. This next super weird symptom hit. It's so strange. Full loss of smell and taste. The loss of sense of smell and taste. We gotta chat about it. Literally in the title, I wrote, I have coronavirus, what it's like, plus my weird symptom, because at this time, this was not a symptom that anyone was talking about. My brother and my mom were the first ones who experienced the loss of senses, and we didn't know what it was, but I was like, I wonder if maybe that's connected to COVID. So I remember I turned to Google, Dr. Google, and I searched coronavirus loss of smell or loss of taste, and there was like nothing really coming up, but I found like one article, like some ENT in England was saying like, oh, there's initial reports that maybe loss of senses or altering senses has to do with COVID. And I'm like, it looks like we found a new symptom. And what a fun symptom that was. Like, I have a container of fresh minced garlic in my fridge. This is the strongest smelling thing ever. I open it up, I smell it, nothing. People have asked me, like, did you have any fun with the loss of senses? And I did. I didn't play around with it too much, but my brother kind of like dared me to eat wasabi. And I'm like really not like a spicy foods person at all. So I was a little nervous, but I'm like, I will try it because this might be my only shot. So I ate just like a big old chunk of wasabi and I tasted nothing, sensed absolutely nothing. You could like feel the texture of things, but no taste, no smell. Some people like could sense salty or could sense that things are sweet or spicy. I had nothing. Obviously, compared to like the severe symptoms people are getting from coronavirus, this is nothing and I shouldn't complain. I continue to be just so grateful for my sense of smell and taste now. Oh, hold on, we got something to talk about. I like to keep things positive, so I don't like that I have something a little more negative to talk about, but I feel like this can help to be talked about because it's not talked about enough. I know people are feeling like they're like crazy going through it alone. Let's discuss this. I, thank God, fully got back my sense of smell and taste. That is what happens for most people. Some people do not get it back perfectly. I don't know exactly how it works. I am not a doctor. I am not a scientist, but something about the way that the nerves like are regenerating doesn't quite work correctly. My friend actually, she also had the virus back around a year ago, shortly after me, and she lost sense of smell and taste, just like me. And we're like texting, oh my God, isn't it crazy? But hers didn't come back right, and it's awful. Her sense of smell, her sense of taste are messed up. Things that are normal smell and taste like garbage to her. They're just a whole bunch of foods and smells that she's not been able to tolerate since then. Like, she can't have coffee. She's not been able to drink coffee for the last year because it tastes and smells disgusting to her. There are a bunch of people, and they've been termed long haulers, that even months and months after having COVID, they're still experiencing effects of it. This could be like altered sense of smell or taste, continued headaches, continued fatigue. Brain fog is another one that I know some of my friends have. Their recall is messed up, and it's really like scary. It's not the norm. Most people that have the virus recover from it 100% and they feel like themselves again. Thank God that's how it went for me. But if you had COVID a while ago and you're still like have like these nagging little effects going on, I hope you don't feel like you're crazy just because it's not being talked about. But this is definitely like a legitimate thing that a lot of people are going through. I don't know if there are effective treatments for these like persistent symptoms, but I'd recommend Googling it, talking to your doctor about it, and I sincerely like hope for the best for you. I pray for a full recovery. I mean, it really sucks, like not just going through it the first time and the fear and the uncomfortableness of it, but to have these lingering effects, especially when you feel like you're probably alone with it. I'm really sorry, guys. My last video that I posted was different hobby ideas, and it's actually great timing because everyone is stuck in quarantine at home right now and needs some hobby ideas, so definitely check it out if you've been bored. Yeah, that video was actually crazy. I had the idea to do this unrelated to COVID, just to share hobby ideas. I didn't know 1 month later the whole world would really need hobby ideas. But a lot of people have told me that they found that video helpful with some hobby ideas, so if you're looking for some, I'll link the video right here. You can check it out, or I'll have it linked in the description box below so you can check it out after. All getting testing would do is take away tests, time, supplies from people who really need it. Oh my God, just thinking back to the shortage of supplies, the shortage of medical staff at that point. There were just like temporary COVID units popping up everywhere around the city. And that was like the original intent of like the everyone stay home for a few weeks, flatten the curve so that the hospitals could manage all of this. And we definitely like come a long way with that. If you are sick, like you're able to go to the hospital. They have the supplies to help you. Now we have the treatments too. So that's a huge change. Like now I feel like it's a little less scary because you know that the world is equipped to deal with the virus. Just focusing on that has definitely brought me a lot of peace. Thank God no one is suffering any complications. No one is getting worse. Everyone who had fever in my house, it's come down. No one's dealing with that anymore. That's like, kind of could get a little serious. Yeah, I mean, we were totally blessed to have all gotten it really mild, thank God. The large majority of COVID cases are mild. You'll have mild symptoms or no symptoms at all, like you might not even know that you have it. There are times though where it is more serious and there are complications, so I'm just very thankful that we all went through it and got through it totally okay. There's a lot of prayer going on during that time. That is one like silver lining that came out of this. It's just like a stronger faith that I think a lot of us found, which is really cool if you could like connect and like tap into that. I just wanted to say, I actually had the flu a little over a month ago, and that was way worse than this. Yeah, that was actually really crazy having the flu a month before having COVID, just to get that like kind of back-to-back experience for comparison. For me, the flu was 1,000 times worse. I was so sick, so uncomfortable. Just wrote down a few notes because my mind is like scrambled. Ooh, brain fog? A little bit of brain fog, didn't even realize, but maybe I had a little confusion going on there. So I'm in college and all my classes have obviously switched online, so I'm just going to class online. I remember like the first time one of my classes had our like online Zoom meeting, the professor was saying like, okay, obviously we're online right now, but next week is the midterm and we hope to be back in person by then. Still, a year later, no one has been back on campus, so whew, what a time we're living through. I actually have an exam tomorrow, so even with coronavirus, gotta study, take my exams, get those A's. I aced that test, let me tell you. I think I got 102 on that test, okay? Humble brag. COVID humble brag. I've been reading. I never have time to read, so it's really been nice. Yeah, this past year, I got back into reading. The beginning of quarantine like kicked it off where I had more time at home and I like rediscovered my love for reading, and now I've like consistently been reading a book ever since then. If you have any good book suggestions, definitely leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to see it. Also, if there's any like changes you've seen in yourself, things you like to do, things like you've rediscovered about yourself, like with this change in the world, have you gotten back into any old hobbies? Let me know, that'd be such a cool thing to know. Leave a like if you want more content like this. No, don't. If you don't want more content like this, we're done with content like this, but you can still leave a like. You heard 2020 Stephie, leave a like if you want more content like this. I don't want to do more content like this. Happiness and good stuff only. There we go. That was the end of the video. Back to the middle. That was a really cool experience going back and just hearing my thoughts and my experience from a year ago, back at the very beginning of this pandemic. My hope for the future, and thank God it's the very near future, is that the vaccine will go out to everybody and things can start opening up again, travel can open up again, we can see the people we've been missing, and life can hopefully start feeling a little more back to normal again. Let me know in the comments what the one thing you're looking forward to doing when things go back to normal. For me, it is Broadway, it is traveling, it is leaving my house without a covering on it. You know, just the simple things. It'd be very nice to start seeing people's smiles again in real life. What a happy day that'll be. I post a lot more than just COVID content, so if you're interested in hanging around and joining the ByStephieNics fam, we have fun here and we would love to have you. You can just hit the big red subscribe button to join, and you can ring the notification bell right next to it to get notifications sent straight to your phone right here every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have been doing well, staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video today, this little 1 year later COVID update. This was super interesting looking back. I mean, we have gone through such craziness this past year, but I feel like we've gotten stronger through it. There's so much out of our control, but mindset, your reaction to it, that is something that you can control. So just focus on that, stay optimistic and hopeful. It's weird times out there, but just do the best you can, stay in it. Thank you so much for watching today. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, this was ByStephieNics.